Banjir tidak mengukur.
If you guys can see from the previous video, there are a lot of flood disaster in Malaysia from 1926 until now, including the major floods or flash floods. The source of the evidence are from news, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Let's see the 7 states that have the most flood hotspot in Malaysia. The source of the evidence is from the Department of Irrigation and Drainage Malaysia. You guys can search the data on the website here.
お前はもう死んでいる。
Flooding is a natural phenomenon that usually happens in this country, especially during the monsoon season. Almost every state in Malaysia facing the threats of flood. However, until recently, this subject unable to attract any significant attention among historians to conduct a research on flood history. It is also important to note that some scholars also argue that this subject is not a field that can be studied from the historical perspective, but more suitable from other disciplines such as geography, engineering, or hydrology. However, this study has shown that flood, either major or minor, is also an important aspect that can be described using the discipline of history, especially in dealing with the previous great floods that happened before. Review the history of the Great Flood is still anew in Malaysia. However, the study of the Great Flood has been widely performed in other foreign countries. This study is expected to fill a gap in the historical aspect of the environmental history of Malaysia. As example, at midnight on November 17, the torrential rain that has descended on Klang, Shah Alam, Puchong and Kajang has caused a landslide and raised the water level in various places. Jalan landasan Kampung Bukit Kuda, Taman Sentosa, Taman Ciliong, Teluk Pulai and Taman Mazna in Klang, Kampung Sri Aman and Putra Harmony 1 in Puchong are a few of the locations where water level have increased.
Consequences of flood towards society. First, disease spread through water and food contamination. Flood water can mix with pollutants such as agricultural waste, chemicals, raw sewage or metal and can contaminate local waterways that supply drinking water. Food contamination can occur following flooding and power outage given that temperature required to keep food safe may not have been maintained or that food may have come in contact with contaminated water. Second, indoor air quality. Flooded buildings can stay damp even after flood water has receded, which can create a perfect environment for bacteria and mold growth that can lead to dangerously poor indoor air quality. Breeding spores from mold and fungi can cause allergic reaction and breathing problems such as coughing, wheezing and asthma attacks. Mold is a major health problem caused by floods. Third is carbon monoxide poisoning. Flood often cause power outage. During a power outage, indoor ventilation system that ventilate gas power appliances such as electrical generators, pressure washers and cooking tanks will not work and can cause carbon monoxide poisoning. Consequences of flood toward people. First, drowning. Most deaths from flash flood are people who drown while trying to swim away or while trapped in flooded buildings. Many people drown when driving through flood water, misjudging how deep the water is and how quickly the current is moving. Second, injuries. Heavy objects move quickly through floodwater and can hit people. Flooded buildings can have damaged wiring and electrical appliances that could electrocute people or cause fires. In any season, most floodwater is well below normal human body temperature and can cause hypothermia. Third is mental health. Flood can lead to physical health problems, personal loss and financial difficulties, which can result in common mental health disorders such as anxiety, depression. Long-term health issues such as depression and post-traumatic stress disorder can affect people for a long time after a flood.
The consequences towards economic needs, increased government spending, floods often damage public property such as roads, buildings, telephones, electricity, and cause various types of diseases. All of this may be borne by the government by repairing the damage and funding medical equipment. All of this requires high maintenance costs. Next, decreased purchasing power and output. Damage to infrastructure also causes long-term effects such as disruptions to clean water and electricity, transport, communication, education, and healthcare. Production in agriculture, manufacturing, and other sectors may suffer due to the direct impact of flooding or to physical inability to the workforce to attend to work cases. Lastly, impeding economic growth and development. Repeated flooding in a place may discourage long-term investment by the government and private sector. This could be because firms are particularly uncertain about future demand and so are not willing to commit to emergency or physical investment.
How to solve the problem? First, technology to move underground flood water. Because of the frequency of flood in this area, the government must enhance the number of reservoirs to provide a long-term solution. MAOUDC is short for Metropolitan Area Outdoor Underground Discharge Channels. This technology involves the construction of a cylindrical tunnel that can pump a large of water. The purpose of this underground system is to channel flood water from the city to the river or ocean and reduce water overflow during the rainy season. With the construction of this underground facility, shifting the water from floods, the problem of flooding can be avoided. Furthermore, due to excessive rain, these reservoirs can hold significant amounts of water. How it works? When the river overflows, the water will automatically go to the cylindrical tunnel. Next, when the rain has subsided, the water from the cylinder will be pumped into the ocean. We can use this technology to prevent floods while also helping in the reduction of damage caused by massive floods. Furthermore, the construction of the cylindrical tunnel can reduce the cost of repairing damage. Solution number 2 is flood-resistant floating house. As we all know, flood make a few people lose their house. This is a common issue that is often here when there is a major flood. In addition, many families have to stay in the flood evacuation center while waiting for the flood to recede. When they live there, they have to snuggle close and have a little privacy. Therefore, we must find a solution to this difficulty. We can overcome this problem by constructing a floating house. A floating house is one that is designed to adapt to rising and falling water level due to the floods. The house is waterproof and will begin to float when the level of water rises. When the water started to rise around it, the house slowly started leave the ground and rising upward. The floating house returned to its original position as the water recedes. Thick and strong iron pole will be bolted and attached to the ground, and there are strong cables to keep the house from being swept away when the flood occurs. One house requires at least 4 poles. In addition, electric things must be located high up where water cannot reach. This house requires the use of solar panel to supply electricity. Further, the water system and replenishment via a specially designed hose. This house has the advantage of being able to save its residents as well as all households. Furthermore, it can prevent flood-related loss such as dirty and damaged house, which require large expenditures.
The road drainage system is used for the removal and disposal of water from the surface as well as subsurface water. It maintains the stability and durability of the road by keeping it dry as possible. Drainage gives excess water a place to go to prevent it from building up and causing flooding. A series of overground drains, underground pipes, and open ditches combine to transport runoff safely to areas better suited to hold it, such as rivers, creeks, bays, and oceans. The road drainage system works when the rainwater comes from the street or another water surface, such as a well, and is piped to each pumping fixture. Each fixture has a drain hole that collects water and loose waste, which drain to the main drainage system by gravity. All drains are installed with slopes to help water flow freely. The main drain goes to the river water. By collecting and channeling water away from the property, drains help to reduce the risk of flooding.
In conclusion, there are various ways that can be implemented to ensure that the flood problem does not repeat itself. In Malaysia, every planned action definitely has good and bad effects. Therefore, all parties should join hands to find the best mechanism to solve the complex and different flood problems in each area.